Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11 we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good evening. It is the Lions Fan Cave Chat, and we, as usual, Austin and I, but we have a special guest, Mike Fuji Fiordimondo. Did I say it right? Or close?
Close enough.
You say it for me then.
You're right, Fiordimondo. You're
okay.
much on point.
I missed the fjord. I said Fiordimondo.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, at least I was close.
Yeah, you're in the ballpark. I mean, that name gets fined $1 for every time it gets butchered.
It probably gets butchered way worse than that before.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
It's kind of like my last name. We Americanized it. It's Baldrick, but that's German.
Right.
And people try to go to the German. They say, "What is that?"
Right. Oh, I want to thank you. Want to thank you guys for having me on. You know, again, I know we. I think the last time I was on was during the playoffs last season back in January. You know.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it, but you know that the first two drives we stopped the Commanders, and Meek Robertson was in, and on that last play of the second drive, he went down on the sideline and broke his arm, and then we couldn't stop a fly.
Well, I don't know. I think that Washington team is cooked.
Yeah, they peaked last year. Last year. They're going through the sophomore slump. Jaden Daniels is hurt. They got a plethora of guys in and out of the lineup every week. No. And Christian Gonzalez, or what is it? Emmanuel Forbes is not the cornerback they thought he would, but Mikey Sandersville's as good as advertised.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which, as a Michigan fan, makes me happy.
Another thing is, you know, they got one of the oldest rosters in the league. So, you know, it's like, seems like just a lot of, you know, Mariota at the helm. It's just a lot of guys, you know, like you said, with Jaden Daniels breaking down injured a couple times already. I think the league has caught up and figured him out. And, you know, for.
He wasn't that great when he was on the field. You could tell he was going through the sophomore slump that every second-year quarterback goes through. Heck, even in the beginning, Jalen Hurts struggled the first year.
Well, yeah. I mean, when he started in 2021 until just to go back a little history of that season, you know, it wasn't up until Shane Steichen took over the play calling and started running the ball is how the Eagles snuck in the back door, you know, as one of those wild cards. You know, they went
to Tampa and whooped their ass.
That's what I was going to say. They went to Tampa and got their asses handed to them by Brady and company.
Yeah. But that being said, you know, you guys have had a lot of success, and I applaud it. But, you know, as a Lions fan, this weekend all bets are off because, you know, it's war week. So I hope we ended up seeing the Eagles look like this.
Fry, Eagles, fry. That's a good one. I don't know. I mean, it's
going to be a good game. The only thing that I see different with the Eagles, they got a great defense. It's just their offense has been inconsistent at times, and I know it's because they're being way too conservative, is what I think.
Oh, I mean, it's, you know, we all fingers lead and point it to Kevin Patullo, and it's, you know, the whole thing, you know, it's like there was one particular play that ex-Eagle Jason Avant broke down the other day, and it was Jalen Hurts had A.J. Brown wide open in the Packers game right over the middle. Probably would have wrapped a 40-yard touchdown if he, instead of running the ball, he had him like wide open. And I don't know what he was looking at or, I love Jalen, but sometimes like he just don't look the field over. He's just too quick
Happy
to
feet.
shoot
Happy
it.
feet.
Yeah.
Happy feet. He's quick to pull it down and run if he thinks he's going to be sacked. It
Oh,
doesn't even have to be real pressure at the time. If he thinks that guy's getting free
right.
of the tackle or guard, he breaks to the outside, and as soon as he gets out there, he doesn't look downfield first. He tucks his head and runs.
I mean,
That's what I see.
This is going to be definitely a chess match, with both sides of the ball.
Yep, and we know that Christian Mahogany's out, so we're either going to be seeing, in my opinion, either Coyote Awasika or Tyler Colson playing at left guard, because Graham Glasgow was a full go at practice, so he's back in. Our center. Our right guard is good. Panay Sewell is going to be playing. They have Decker as a game time decision.
Right.
As far as the rest, the guys that came just off of IR, their 21-day activation window, they were limited in practice all week. None of them are playing. DJ Reed, Marcus Davenport, Josh Pascal. TA did not pass concussion protocol, so he's out.
I think it's going to be an interesting matchup if it's Jalen Phillips, who we just acquired from the Dolphins for a third-round pick a week and a half ago, going up against Panay Sewell.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Especially the game he had against the Packers.
Yeah, he was all over the field.
Yeah.
I noticed that, but they were missing three-fifths of their O-line in that game, and that didn't help them at all. And then when the center went down, it was 4/5 of the line. And they took advantage putting Jalen Phillips on that weak side where the backup tackle was playing, and that was smart. Why put him against the starter? Put him against the backup.
Right. Well, I was in Minnesota for the Eagles game when, that game was kind of sluggish at first until Jalen found A.J. Brown for 2 touchdowns. And, Kobe Dean, that was like his second game back coming off the what injury was it? But
wasn't that a hamstring?
Nah, that was a patella tendon he tore in his. And he was balling out, and Jalen's son had that pick on Carson Wentz to take it to the house early in the game. But that game Eagles really didn't put that game away till the second half. Jalen found A.J. Brown for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that game, I knew the Eagles were winning, and it wasn't because they're a bad team. It's because who do they have in that secondary other than their safeties?
Who's that? The Eagles?
No, the Vikings. The Vikings.
Right.
I mean, you got Harrison Smith, but he was out that game with an injury. And Josh Metellus got hurt in the second half, too. And once that happened, that whole defense fell apart because Josh Metellus was wrecking the first half.
Well, I think, Ahmad St. Brown going up against Cooper DeJean. That's going to be a nice matchup.
It will be. And Quinyon Mitchell may have his hands full trying to keep up with J-Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he got nicked up a little bit in that Packers game last week. He sat out a couple plays, but then came back in. But, kind of surprised they were picking on Quinyon Mitchell when you had Adoree Jackson playing opposite of Quinyon Mitchell.
Yep, but Ron Monarski, you have 2 losses in the division, which is why you're behind the Lions. You lost to us and the Vikings. And those kittens didn't look like kittens when they played you in week 2.
52-21.
Well, like I said, I know after this game, after we play you guys, we go to Dallas next Sunday, and then we got the Bears are coming to Philly on Black Friday, so 3:00 game. So that ought to be
that'll be a fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, I mean we'll see what those Bears are made of. It's actually I actually be at the game Sunday night and Black Friday.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Nice three.
You're a season ticket holder, aren't you?
Yes, sir. 30
That's what I
years.
thought. You're a super fan too, don't you? Get all dressed up for games.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not like the Philly sports guy, you know.
I was gonna say,
Right.
like,
You know, and there's
All
actually
right.
a couple
Fanatic.
guys. It's actually
I got it. Okay, go ahead.
Sean Young, season ticket holder. He paint. There's a few guys that paint themselves up. There's the one guy, Chris Nady, who wears the Jim McMahon Eagles jersey, number 9, and has looks like the 70s porn stash.
Like me without a goatee.
Yeah. Probably made my same if I didn't have this shaggy look on the chin.
Paul Jones is in the chat. I have a tendency to do this for our regular fans. I don't know why they love that song, even though it sounds like 70s porn music.
Man.
Yes, I do go there.
It's all right.
You got to have fun when you do this, or it's not,
Of course.
it's not worth doing. And of course, the end goal is to get to where you're monetized, but that's not why I did it.
Oh, believe me, like when I'm on the show with my guys, believe me, I'm doing a lot of ball busting all the time, and it's you gotta have fun. It's got to be fun, and you gotta laugh. If not,
Amen.
It's time to pull the plug.
If the Lions sucked, it wouldn't have took you having to play catch up to get tied with us.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not saying the Bears are a bad team. You didn't hear that come out of my mouth. I'm not here to talk trash.
Means
they are a young team and they're learning. And once they learn how to play 4 quarters instead of trying to come back in games when they're behind, they'll be a better team. You guys had to come back versus the Giants.
Oh, I know. As far as us, we had first time we played the Giants, we got our asses whipped on that Thursday night game.
Wasn't that the first time that they had Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo starting?
I think so, but the Eagles were, they lost. They lost prior to the Broncos that game when they basically gave that game away in the second half, giving up 16, 17 points.
The Giants are the only team in NFL history to have a 93 to 99% chance of win rate in the fourth quarter and lose 4 games.
Oh, yeah, because when I was out in Minnesota after the Eagles game, went to the one sports bar and they were up big on the Broncos and then blew it, which was always a great.
Paul Jones says they do the tush push in Chicago too. Caleb calls it the butt punch.
We'll see. I mean, that'll be interesting to see when. Actually, in Philly, they call it the tush push or the Philly shove, but
right.
It just seems. Let me ask you guys something. Just being on the opposite, what do you guys think of the tush push? You think it should be banned?
If you go by the letter of the rule that was developed for the fake field goal,
right,
it's technically an illegal play according to the letter of the rule because they're using a bigger player to push another player through the line. I'm on the fence. I'm one of those people say, hey, stop it. But at the same time, I'm glad you beat the team that pushed for it to be banned this year.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of, I believe the Packers did try to use it. I know the Bills used it a few times.
I know, but the Packers were the biggest proponent
of
having it banned this year.
What's your take, Austin?
I'm kind of, in the same boat. Just as the defense, you're trying to avoid these third and down, these third and short yardage, fourth and short yardage, because even the Lions do it when you get into those short yardages on third and fourth down, where we may not run that exact same play all the time, or like Philly does, but you know it's coming. So just
Right.
match their big guys with your big guys and see who wins. So
I'll say this, and nobody's really made an issue of it, but between Landon Dickerson being nicked up and Cam Jurgens, and I know they say nobody gets hurt, but remember Jason Kelsey was saying, you go under, it's like multiple thousands of pounds on top of you. And like after a while, I think, God forbid, somebody's going to seriously get hurt. Whether it's Jalen Hurts, Cam Jurgens,
the
one
center,
of them. Right.
Or a defensive tackle or a linebacker from the other team.
Somebody at the bottom of that pile is going to be severely injured.
But I like what Paul Jones says here. Tush push shouldn't be eliminated, but at least let the defense tush push as well. It's illegal to stack the center on defense. And that's probably the only way you could truly stop it is if you stack the center of that line. Mm-hmm. But they don't allow that. And I don't think that's a fair, it's a one-way fair advantage. And if the officials would call everything the same, because we've seen Kansas City tried it and they got called for the false start. We've seen the Bills try it and get called for a false start. And I think the other team that tried it was Denver and got called for a false start in one of their losses. So, if you're going to let it go for one team, you got to let it go for all of them, is my thing.
Well, it's true. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of, I love it, but I think it's just going to, come to fruition to where it's just going to be banned altogether.
And as Jalen Hurts gets older, the chance of him getting injured doing it goes up.
Well, of course, right. That's all you need is your franchise QB to, God forbid. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. It's bad enough these injuries today, just guys going down left and right.
Mm-hmm.
You figure there really ain't no preseason. At least in Philly, nobody played. You figure it takes 6 weeks to really, get going.
It does. If you look, every team, they had some early losses they shouldn't have had, and every team had some early wins that they might not have got if the other team was humming correctly.
Right.
But once you get to weeks 4, 5, and 6, teams become who they are.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You really, by then you really can decipher who's going to run the table at this point.
Not yet.
I think it should be interesting to see Aiden Hutchinson going up against the Eagles' O-line.
Yep, Aiden Hutchinson. They're saying that Talik Williams is going to be in the lineup more this week, and that's due to the fact of some key stats that he has.
And the way I was going to say, the way Jahmyr Gibbs, just lighting it up. And Matt Montgomery.
You look at what Saquon Barkley did last year and what he's doing this year compared to Gibbs, it's night and day. Because right now, Gibbs is at 5 yards per touch, 920 yards and 10 tutties. And Saquon Barkley's at 4.4 yards per touch, 779 yards and 6 tutties. Now, that is combined yardage between rushing and receiving.
Right.
I wanted to make clarify, because each of them only have 6 touchdowns, I think, right now at the time on the ground.
Well, that's probably, if not the top best two-headed monster in the NFL, because it's like a thunder and lightning, like back in the day in Philly, it was Charlie Garner and Ricky Waters, like the 95 season.
And then you had Lashady McCoy, and then the other guy that would come in that was more of the power back behind him.
Leonard Weaver, which was, he had a cut. It's a shame his career was cut short because he tore his knee up, and that guy was like, if you remember, Craig Ironhead Hayward.
Right, I remember him.
A Gary Brown for the old Houston Oilers. Just a Bam Morris for the Steelers before they found the marijuana in his ashtray.
Yeah. So we did get, like I said, I know who's out for us altogether. I just got to get the list up in front of me again.
Right.
Terrion's out, Joseph's out, Sam Laporta's out, Josh Pascal's out, and DJ Reed is out. Marcus Davenport, they say is still questionable, but this morning he said he was out. So I'm leaning towards he's out. That's the 5 players out. And the only one that's really questionable after that is Taylor Decker.
No, I mean
for our Lions. Football Talk with Bo. Good to see you, Bo. He's an avid Seahawks fan and podcaster himself.
What I was going to ask you guys on YouTube, what is your show under?
Kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions.
Okay. Nah, because I got some guys wanting to see it. Can you repeat that again? My apologies.
It's separate words. Kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions.
All right. Thank you.
Because if you say Detroit Lions for the name of a podcast, it gets flagged because it's trademarked. So I had to do what I had to do.
I get it. I mean, hey, the way everything is today.
As soon as I've seen a couple of bigger podcasts get shut down and demonetized over using that name, I changed mine immediately.
Well, you even get read the riot act for using music.
That's why I like the AI stuff unlicensed. I own it as soon as I make it.
Right.
But so who are other than your offensive line injuries? Who is out on defense for you?
Well, we did have we acquired Jair Alexander, which it gets me like you brought Zaire Smith in. All of a sudden, the guy just up and retires, and now it's like Jair Alexander. I know you gave up some back end draft picks or one draft pick, and he mentally and like physically, the guy's just not right. And I take my hat off to him. Like he wants the rumor that Diane Rossini was reported after it came out, I guess Tuesday night, that he's like contemplating retirement. So, today, mental awareness, and I'm not saying it's that, but if the guy's just not right, all the best of luck to him, because you want to make sure a guy's healthy and wants to is able to contribute.
So when I was exactly. Yeah, mental health. It is November is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I get that. And I want to say this now after what happened with Marshawn Nealon, and God bless his girlfriend who's pregnant with his kid now.
Right.
It's amazing what the Cowboys are doing. I don't know if you saw that, but they are actually covering all our expenses during the pregnancy and for the first couple of years after the child is born.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, that's very,
Yes, we announced that, Broski Bear.
Oh, I mean, it's, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Like, what, it's a game. You got your rivalries. People go back and forth. That gets out of hand. But, just to see anybody pass away the way he did, and it's a shame. Like, think about just the humanity aspect of it. Throw the rivalries and the games and all the everything out the window. It's just, it's all about, at the end of the day, like you see this happen, and then it's just sad. Unfortunate.
Yes, Laporta is out. Not the first time he's missed games, and we've won games without him earlier this year, so I'm not worried about it. Brock Wright is a capable tight end that would probably start on about 16 other teams.
Right.
So, and I think the two call-ups this week with the being Pascal, Davenport, and everybody not ready to come back, I think the call-up will be Ahmad Hassanin because he was medically cleared to play in week 7, but because he was medically waived by the team in his rookie year, he had to wait 4 weeks to be able to be signed.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's signed and healthy. And he's an international pathways player because he was born in Egypt. So he doesn't count against the practice squad or the active roster. So he could be called up at any time. And I think with the depth problems we have at defensive end, he will be. Because he's about that. He's a shorter version of Aiden Hutchinson in stature. He's 6'2".
Right.
Brock Wright has 3 touchdowns when Sam Laporta is not on the field. Oh, that was our old cornerback, Carlton Davis, wasn't it?
Really?
CD3, right? Wasn't that who did that down in Tampa? Or no, Sutton. It was Cameron Sutton.
Hey, Sutton.
I want to ask you guys, as far as really haven't seen many games with the Lions, but would you say, well, I don't even want to get into the Jets because that team's just a dumpster fire. Doesn't matter. He could dig Vince Lombardi up and put him on that sideline, and it ain't going to matter. But just, I mean, with why can't I think of the Bears coach?
Ben Johnson.
I mean, it doesn't seem like your offense really has lost a beat since he went over to Chicago.
In the beginning, Johnny Morton was taking some chances, and he looked really good, especially versus Chicago and the Ravens.
Right.
But then he kind of got complacent because all of a sudden we were only scoring like 24 to 27 points a game. We were still winning some, but we lost a couple too. So at that point, Dan Campbell, after losing to the Vikings, took over the play calling, and you saw what happened last week. It looked like the offense that we saw versus the Ravens.
I think
no sack given up.
I think in your division, I mean, I think you can pretty much say that. Well, I mean, McCarthy hasn't looked too bad, but I mean, who knows? You know, what are the Bears the real deal, or are they frauds?
I'll probably if you look at their schedule, they haven't really beaten any quality teams yet.
Right.
I mean, at least the Lions have beaten Tampa Bay.
Right.
We got Dan calling plays like he's Mike Martz.
Mike Martz.
Well, yeah.
Mike Martz, going back to the greatest show on turf days.
Yeah. But right now we're on pace to set a scoring record in the NFL if it keeps up.
Yeah, you know what? I did see that. That the Lions offense is definitely going to be a handful come Sunday night at 8:30. I mean, I honestly, I would say this is probably definitely the best football team the Eagles have played all year offensively.
Well, I mean, you had the Rams too. The Rams are no slouch on offense, and
well, I mean, hate to say this, but it's like, like I said earlier in the show, like all roads finger point leads to Kevin Petullo, and it's just, Barkley's not having the year he was having. You would think they would mix it up with Barkley after the game Tank Bigsby had against the Giants, which isn't really saying much, but get a two-headed monster of your own. But I would say the best weapon besides Devontae Smith on that offense this year has been Dallas Goedert. Right. He has 7 or 8 touchdowns, and the last couple of years, like Dallas Goedert was the last resort for Jalen Hurts, especially over the middle, but just seems like, he's becoming that security blanket. And you got to get A.J. Brown involved, or you're not going to win this game. I mean, you could throw to Devontae Smith the whole game. But if A.J. Brown's not getting open, and it's, he's already not happy with, what he's putting out on social media, which.
And you actually put it out on that podcast where he was streaming with his nephew just before they went and played Madden together.
Right.
About how upset he was and told fantasy owners, hey, if you've got me, drop me.
I got him in one league, but according to what came out yesterday here in Philly, I'm sure everybody in the NFL knows who Big Dom is. The bodyguard of Sirianni.
Yeah.
Supposedly he got A.J. Brown and Jeff Lurie together, and supposedly they had like this big meeting that was, which I can understand his frustration.
Is
the
Big
guy
Dom allowed back on the sidelines yet?
Yeah, he came back.
Good.
He was back the beginning of the season. Just when it went down at that one Sunday when him and the linebacker from the 49ers almost went out. I don't know if it was Fred Warner or, Warner tried showing him up on the sideline, and he got tossed out of that game.
Right. For touching him, right?
Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing Big Dom grab him and throw him down, But
throw him into the pads on the wall.
Little old school WWF. I'm not calling it WWE.
Yeah, I'm a
WWF was what it was.
But, and it came out before the World Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Because I used to. You ever remember an old wrestler named Ben Justice from back in the 70s?
Maybe slightly a little before my time. I remember, Sid Vicious, Sid Justice.
Well, his real name is Larry, and he was actually an Orkin customer of mine when I did Orkin back in 2010. That was really cool going there and seeing pictures of him with like a young George the Animal Steel, and
I was just about to mention him. And he was a professor at Michigan State, right?
Yes, he
George
was.
the Animal Steel.
Yep. Played dumb as a rock in wrestling, but he was a genius, actually.
Oh yeah, the green tongue and all.
Mm-hmm.
And he would bite the turnbuckle and throw up the
pad.
Yeah.
Those were the golden years of wrestling.
Oh yeah, before it went mainstream.
Yeah, as soon as it got mainstream, it started to change.
Big time.
Back then, the blood was real.
Oh yeah, just take the blade and slice it open.
Mm-hmm. But I expect a good game. I expect it to be close. No matter who wins, I think whoever has the ball last in the red zone is the one that wins the game.
It's like I said, it's going to be. I think weather-wise, I think we're supposed to have a little rain on earlier
but it's
in
not
the
supposed
day,
to be real. It's not supposed to be super cold. It's not going to be like it was last weekend in Lambeau.
Right. Yeah, 20 degrees. And I know they had snow in Chicago, I believe.
That night, yeah.
But other than there's no real injuries on the Eagles as of right now.
Good.
You
know what? I love it when somebody says, well, this person was out or that person was out, and they play the injury card. But yet, when we say, oh, but we had 11 guys from our defense on the IR when we faced the Commanders,
right,
and then lost another one in the game, and they say, well, you can't use injuries as an excuse. Well, then why are you using it for an excuse when the Lions beat somebody?
Right. Well, that game was just, I didn't see the whole thing, but that Lions offense ran roughshod over Washington.
44-22. That was our second highest scoring game of the year. But they're a bad defense. What I do know is, as far as top defensive lines in the league, the top 10 by PFF are right here. It's Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh Steelers, Los Angeles Rams, Houston Texans, Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, Philadelphia Eagles, Seattle Seahawks, Buffalo Bills, and Indianapolis Colts. What's crazy is the week before, the team at the top dropped 10 spots. It was the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
They dropped 10 spots in 1 week because of that awful game they had versus the Raiders when they couldn't do anything.
Jeez.
Now, who do you guys have on your remaining schedule?
I'll tell you.
We still have 4 games in the division.
Right.
We've got.
We got 3 games remaining in the division. I forgot we played everybody once.
The Eagles this week. Then we go and play the Giants at home. Then it's the Thanksgiving game against the Packers. Then Cowboys on a primetime game. Rams, Steelers at home. Yep. Then Rams, Steelers, Vikings, and then we end in Chicago.
So week 18 in Chicago. It really depends on who's going to be trying to get the division lead. I think between the 3 teams. If there's a chance that the Lions can overtake the division, they'll be playing their starter if they're not in first place at the time, which they are right now.
Well, as far as the Eagles, I mean, it's Lions tonight, Sunday night, and we go to Dallas next week at 4:30. Then the Bears Black Friday at 3:00. The following Monday night, the Chargers on the road. And we get the Raiders 1:00 in Philly, and then it's Washington down there up at Buffalo and closing it out at home against Washington. So
you got at least 3 rivalry games coming up yet, too.
Yeah. All right. Washington twice and Dallas once left.
But here's the amazing thing about Gibbs, and I know you probably saw that graphic during the game when they showed it, but 40-plus scrimmage touchdowns before turning 24, and he turns 24 next March 10th to be exact. Wow. He has 41 touchdowns right now. Then it's Jim Brown, Emmitt Smith, and Randy Moss at 43, and then Barry Sanders at 47. He has a chance to surpass Barry Sanders before turning 24.
That's some great company there.
I mean, you're talking about 3 running back goats.
Right.
Say what you want. They're all 3 goats in their own eras. Emmitt due to longevity because he played a lot longer than Barry. Barry because he did it within a 10-year span. Jim Brown within 9 years he did what he did. Won a couple championships with Cleveland back then.
Right.
I give credit where credit due. And the reason why we're going to be playing Tyleek Williams more was the statistic that was brought up. Lions run defense with Tyleek versus without. With him, 105 runs, 3.4 yards per rush, 30.1% offensive run success, which was tied for first in the league. Explosive run rate was only 4.8% and tied for third, and 32.7% run stuff rate, which was first in the league. Without him, 106 runs, so it's a very even split, correct? 4.7 yards per rush, which is 23rd in the league. 42.5% offensive run success rate, which is 25th. 5.7% explosive run rate, which is tied for 6th. But 8.9% run stuff rate, which was the worst in the league. And I bring that up because in those 3 games, since Lee McNeil's been back, he hasn't been the starter next to him. He's been in rotation. So he's been used less in those snaps. And during those games, everybody had close to or over 100 yards rushing against us as a total team yard.
I know. God, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, it's okay. And I know that you guys haven't given up 100 yards rushing all year.
Well, it seems that, again, I know the Eagles lead the league in 3 and outs. And when you got probably the most expensive, offensive arsenal in the NFL, Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, not even counting Jalen Hurts in that O-line. It's, it's unacceptable. And, something better.
You guys got to get there before you talk that smack. I'm sorry.
No, but it's just, it's unacceptable. And, this is this is where you're starting to get in December, and you better start setting up that run for the pass. And I know you guys know it. I mean, you guys
By the
have
way, the
been
Bears
dominating
were,
that.
yeah, I get it. And I got to repeat this because it was said by people in national media. Do you know what's never happened in NFL history since the Super Bowl was created?
What's
Not
up?
one rookie coach has led a team to the Super Bowl or won it.
That's interesting.
So
Didn't know that stat.
So he says the Bears were eliminated before the season started.
Oh, I mean, look at the Jets. You look at Cleveland, Tennessee's on their way to getting that number 1 pick again.
Well, yeah, because the Saints and the Jets were stupid enough to win more than one game.
Right. Yeah, but I'll say this, not to get off key with the Eagles Lions, but I mean, Vrabel's doing a hell of a job in New England right
100%.
now.
It makes me think where the Patriots would be at now if they would have just hired Vrabel in the first place and didn't waste 3 years with Mayo.
Exactly.
Well, the problem with that was it was in Mayo's contract as a with his last extension as defensive coordinator that if Bill ever left, he would be the head coach. It was in his contract.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Drake May they had Mac Jones originally for a couple years, and then, Drake May coming out, was it last year? I mean,
Yeah.
just, you give the guys some weapons. They took Milton Williams right up, defensive tackle from the Eagles, and hell, they had like over $100 million to spend, and Stephon Diggs was a nice pickup.
Yeah, he's been balling out for him.
I mean, Trevion Henderson going off the other night, and
yeah, he looked great.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row, that guy scored 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground and one receiving.
And I mean, I actually did think New England was going to come out of that division as a wild card, but I mean, it's like Buffalo's like a dumpster fire right now.
It's their run defense. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago when we were in the podcast. If a team can establish the run against them, they're in the bottom 5 for rushing defense right now.
They just seem like they're going back to the early 90s Bills, like just choking or finding some way to choke.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, as good as Josh Allen is, but still, it's like.
And Josh Allen's trying to do it all, but guess what? He's finding out he can't.
Can't do it all yourself.
And Matt Milano in and out of the lineup. Ed Oliver's been in and out of the lineup. That's the center of their defense. And when they're out, teams run all over them.
Right.
And their secondary is nothing to be. Oh my goodness!
Exactly. Cleve makes.
Not even going to put it on the screen. Funny, he's leading the league in completion percentage. I think he's 3rd in yardage right now, and I think he's tied for 2nd or 3rd in touchdowns. And I think he's almost leading in QBR right now. The only one that might be ahead of him is Lamar Jackson because of his resurgence the last couple of weeks since he came back off of injury.
I recently saw a stat, and I forget what it was. It was basically breaking down since when the Lions and the Rams made the deal for Stafford and for Goff, and it seemed like the numbers were, forget exactly what the numbers were, but they were pretty even keel between both of them since, they flip-flop teams.
The Lions have 2 more wins than the Rams, but the Rams got the Super Bowl the first year, which is what they did it for. They had Jared Goff on a team that was built for Jared Goff. They got Matt Stafford, and they started to struggle a little bit in the middle of the season. They picked up Leonard Floyd. They traded for Von Miller, and they traded for Odell Beckham Jr.
Right.
And that Odell Beckham Jr. trade actually saved their butts because not even a week and a half later, Robert Woods tore his ACL and went out for the season.
Now, as far as Goff, I mean, how many years does they just re-upped him, didn't they, in the last
Yeah, we
years?
re-upped him last year, before last season. He's still got another 2 years left on the contract.
Well, as far as, I mean, you have Jahmyr Gibbs and you have Montgomery, and I'm sure Jahmyr Gibbs, is his contract coming up towards
next year, because of the 5th-year option, they'll work out something with him.
right.
Because next year is his 4th year, so they'll accept the 5th-year option and then work out a deal with him, just like they did with Hutchinson and JMO this year.
Now, not to go back off key, but I did have a question when you brought up the, it was more so the Barry Sanders / Emmitt Smith era. Like, Barry was such a phenomenal running back with the offensive line compared to what, probably any of us could have ran behind that Dallas offensive line.
I could have got 100 yards a game behind it.
All right. Just imagine.
When you're not contacted for 6 yards every carry, you're going to get yards.
I just, you think back to that era where it was like, Barry just hung it up like Jim Brown did in like Megatron. Mm-hmm. Just went out on top. And just imagine Megatron playing in this offense or Barry Sanders.
Yeah, in this offense, Megatron would be a god.
Right. He was a god even.
He was a god then on a bad team that didn't have a great defense.
All right. And just imagine his numbers now compared to, 10 years. How long has he been retired?
At least 2016, so 9 years. He retired the 2016-17 season.
So just imagine him in the last 10 years. Even though he was getting older, but still.
Oh, my goodness. Perry was a 2-season running back, knew the Lions. Oh, my God. No, what happened was our wonderful GM at the time hired Bobby Ross. Bobby Ross came to him and said, "We're taking Greg Hill in the 1st round, and you'll be a 3rd-down running back." Telling the greatest running back that ever played. Right? No. We didn't have Millen yet in that year. Millen didn't come in until the 99-2000 year at the end of that.
That's right, because he brought in Mooch as the head coach, right?
At first it was Morningwig and then Mooch, and then it was a plethora of M-name coaches. We used to call it the M&M decade of despair.
Wow. I know how you guys have had some
horrible.
I don't have to. Well, hey, look. It's like I tell some young folks, like, Eagles had some bad years too. All right, they were competitive. They would make the playoffs, but wasn't.
But you guys have had a plethora of great players. Ron Jaworski wasn't a great player, but he was a great team leader.
Right.
Randall Cunningham, Donovan McNabb, Shady McCoy. You had Terrell Owens, even though he was a diva at the time, he was still a great player.
All right. We've the Andy Reid era, 5 NFC title games in the Super Bowl, just couldn't get it done here.
Hey, Ron, beating the Ravens isn't for every team in the NFC North. I know. And we beat them with Lamar. You couldn't beat them with Tyler Huntley.
We'll see those Bears in a couple weeks here. Or should I call them the Cubs?
Yeah, they got a team called the Cubs there. You can't call them that. It's trademark.
Just a little ball Boston. I know. I'm sure I'll get some more Eagles comments.
Oh yeah.
Well, since we're comparing Goff to Williams, let's look at their stats. So Goff is 9th in the NFL among quarterbacks with 2,235 passing yards, tied for 2nd with 20 touchdowns, only 3 picks, and is 8th with a 68.2 QBR. Caleb Williams, 2,136 passing yards, 13th, 13 touchdowns, tied for 16th, has 4 interceptions, one more than Goff, and a 57.8 QBR, which is 17th in the league.
Well, Here you go, right here. I got the yardage leaders up right now in the division. And you look, the Lions have 1,100 rushing yards already this year. DeAndre Swift has 544, and you notice who's not on that list underneath him, and that's Kyle Monangwa, because he just came on the last couple of games. Right. Amon-Ra is leading the division in receiving yards. Jordan Love has Goff by a total of 12 yards right now. Now let's go to touchdowns, because that's when it gets fun. Goff has 20, Caleb has 13, Jordan Love has 13, Carson Wentz has 6. JJ hasn't even thrown as many touchdowns as Carson Wentz yet.
Right.
Jacobs has 11 touchdowns by himself, but Jahmyr Gibbs has 8. David Montgomery has 5. That's 13 touchdowns by our running back. Swift and Jordan Mason, who's the backup to Aaron Jones, has more touchdowns than Aaron Jones for the Vikings, and Swift only has 4. Amon-Ra has 8 touchdowns. Roma Dunze's having a great year with 6, but if you take that away from Caleb, he's only thrown touchdowns to 7 other people at most. Tucker Kraft has 6, and then Romeo Doubs and Jamison Williams both have 4. So we have 12 touchdowns right there between our top 2. They have 10 with Green Bay.
Right.
Between 2 people, which means only 3 other people have caught a touchdown pass from Jordan Love. So give credit to Caleb Williams. He's throwing it to more players than Jordan Love is to get touchdowns. I will give credit where credit's due.
I was going to ask you guys, I mean, looks like Minnesota's probably going to be the team out in that division the way they've been going. And I mean, you think the Bears could actually overtake the Packers?
They just did by the game by you guys beating them.
Right.
The Packers are now in 3rd place. This is the standings in our division right now. 6-3 Lions, 6-3 Bears, 5-3-1 Packers, and 4-5 Vikings.
I just don't think Minnesota has the horses. I mean, Wentz.
Yeah, but you know what the crazy thing is? They may be 4-5, and at the bottom of the division, they're the only. They played 2 games in the division and they haven't lost yet. They're 2-0 in the division, so everything has been outside the division where they're lost.
Okay. What was I going to say?
But that tie is going to come when it comes down to that playoff race is huge. None of us can tie and win with the Packers because that tie will push them into 1st place.
Right.
So while you're sitting here bashing the Lions because we whooped the shit out of you in week 2,
God.
We whooped you so bad you guys didn't even come out of the woodwork for 3 weeks.
Oh man.
I'm just saying. This goes into a shit talking YouTube station.
That's
so
all
I
right.
I expect it, but I also talk in stats and facts, not delusions and grandeur.
I just thought Washington or maybe. Who the hell knows what the hell Dallas is doing?
Aren't they 3-5-1?
Yeah, it's.
So, here's an interesting stat. Last year, after 10 weeks, the Packers were 6-4.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas was 3-6. So after that trade was made with Kenny Clark going to Dallas and Micah Parsons going to Green Bay with the picks that were swapped and everything else, Green Bay is at 5-3-1, so they actually are a half game below what they were last year.
Right.
And Dallas has the exact same win total with a half a game up with the tie.
I don't know.
That's kind of weird that it really didn't improve either team overall. It did improve the play of Rashawn Gary. I will say that 100%. Because if you go to defensive sack leaders right now, he's leading the division in sacks. Where's that at? This one's right here. Total sacks. Rashawn Gary has 7.5. He's a half up on Aiden Hutchinson. Micah Parsons has 6.5. And Al-Qadim Muhammad has 6.
Interesting.
We don't have to get prepared. We don't have to get prepared for another 7 weeks.
Right.
We're worried about the team in front of us. So that's why we're not addressing playing you.
Oh, man.
4 players are there with 7 tackles for loss. One of them is Micah Parsons. One of them is Aiden Hutchinson. And the other one is Al-Qadim Muhammad. Leading the entire division in tackles is Jack Campbell. Tremaine Edmonds has a chance to get even with them this week. Quay Walker has 77, and Edrin Cooper has 68. Now we could go to the other one here, where we talk about passes defended. Keyshawn Nixon of Green Bay Packers has 12. So if he wasn't playing lights out the way he is, because the rest of that secondary hasn't really done anything. Wow. But 8 for Tyreek Stevenson, 8 passes defended for Terrion Arnold, and 8 for Nahshon Wright and Edmonds. Interceptions, 4 for Byard, 4 for Edmonds, and 3 for Nahshon Wright, and 3 for Kirby Joseph, who's been sitting on the bench for a 3rd week in a row. So it's weird that he's in the top 4 for the division, and he's missed 3 straight games.
Oh, it's make it back to the matchup. I think it's definitely going to be a, your Lions defensive line going up against the Eagles offensive line.
And vice versa. It's
going to be a nice battle in the trenches.
Yes, it will. Where you heard us is you're not going to let David Montgomery plow through the middle as easily, because Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter clog up the middle of the A and B gap better than almost every other defensive tackle in the league.
Also, you got Oro Jomo, nice backup piece in the rotation for Vic Fangio.
But the one place where you guys give up explosive plays is where Gibbs beats. It's on the outside. Your explosive run plays that you have seen have all been on the outside, and it doesn't matter which linebacker was in at the time, because you've had all your starters in at one point or another. But the explosive plays happen outside the tackles is what I'm getting at, when a speedy running back turns the corner and gets upfield. And it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because that's going to happen to every team, no matter how good they are. Somebody's going to burn you eventually.
Well, I would say that the strong point of the Eagles' defense this year has been the linebacking core, and
it has been.
And then that was always an Achilles heel, because the Eagles finally drafted Jahad Campbell, first linebacker since Jerry Robinson was drafted out of UCLA in 1979. So you're almost talking 45 years that they haven't taken a linebacker. And Nakobe, as I said earlier, Nakobe Dean's been balling out since that Minnesota game, and Zach Baldwin and Jay looks on. So hopefully those guys will.
I am not knocking anybody on the Philadelphia roster. I want to make that clear right now.
And Jahad Campbell's come into his own as a rookie from Alabama.
Yep, and there was that report from one of the beat writers saying that after he had that surgery, he might have to miss until December, and it got blown out of proportion so fast.
Well, that was pretty serious injury, and going into the offseason, not to go forward there, but Howie Roseman has his work cut out for him, because you got Nakobe Dean on that defensive. That's a free agent. Jordan Davis is going to be a free agent. Jalen Carter's contract's going to come up. Over the course of time, it's going to be Cooper DeJean in another year or two, along with Quinyon Mitchell.
Right. So that's what happens when you're a good team and you have to sign good players to big contracts. Eventually, it costs you some of these younger players when their contract time comes up. Eventually.
as much as I love A.J. Brown, and it's, you could take it for what it's worth. I not even bringing up all this, his social media blow ups, but I just don't think he's going to be on the Eagles next year. Just as it, then again, it just depends on their, the cap hit. But
Right.
you can't keep everybody. It's, it sucks, but eventually somebody's going to have to go with all these young guys on defense that are.
This is the second year of that extension he's in, right? Next year's the third, if I remember right.
Right.
So next year is the year where the cap clears enough where you probably can move him, but you'd have to wait till after the draft.
Right. I mean,
it would probably be around June 1st where the dead cap comes off to where the numbers are right. So it's somewhere between June 1st and the first week of the season is where you can move him.
Because they re-upped Devontae Smith last year, but then, like you said, they extended A.J. Brown for really, I think he's under contract here till 2028 or 2029. But,
you want to know how funny it is you keep saying bear down? I was at the draft when Caleb Williams answered questions to the media, and one of the Chicago beat writers said, "Hey, Caleb, can you give us a bear down?" And while holding his pink iPhone case with his pink fingernails, he picked up that microphone and put it close to his lips and said, "Go Bears!"
Oh man, AJ,
that's funny.
I mean,
and I heard week 18 you guys got a bobblehead you're putting out for Caleb. It's going to look something like this.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't hold back when they go too far.
No.
Well, we have been on an hour, and I know there's no shows that follow me. Mike, go ahead and shout out your podcast. That way, if anybody wants to follow you and get Philly news from you, they can follow you.
Yeah, you can follow me at Patterson. I'm sorry, guys. I should have my Twitter handle up.
That's okay. Patterson Ave Fanatics on YouTube, correct?
Facebook and YouTube. We're on Monday nights, 8:30 Eastern time, 8:30 to 9:30 Eastern time.
I love Paul Jones.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The NFC North hate is real, as you can see.
Now the Packers fans,
you notice that the last. Oh,
now do you guys get heckled by like the Minnesota and the? Packers? Yeah.
The heckling comes. It's okay.
Yeah, that's all in fun.
But every time one of those teams lose, they stop chirping for a week or two. But as you see, that's my one and only. That's Smoking Dad, and I got to give him his tune.
Oh man.
He used to be Crazy Ken, and his partner was Rocking Rods. They used to DJ parties as I was going up, so that was fun because I got to go and help with carrying in stuff every now and then, and got to go to some of the parties he hosted. And he actually was the DJ for my homecoming dance my sophomore year.
Wow. Now are you both of you gentlemen from Detroit or right outside?
He's closer than I am.
Yeah, I'm I would say about a less than an hour north of Detroit.
Okay.
And I'm about an hour and a half. I'm 30 minutes north of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm right in Philly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There was a time when I wouldn't have wanted to be within 10 miles of Detroit. But they really cleaned it up. The way I saw it at the draft, I was like, man, I wouldn't mind living down here because the downtown area wasn't as dirty as everybody thought it would be.
Right. I want to thank you guys for inviting me on, and we'll see about 48 hours from now, a little less than that.
Yeah.
Stick around. You get to see the most fun part of my show, my fake sponsors. And I do it by order of the division. And we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up this week.
Nice.
In last place, the Vikings are skull butt. In third place, we got FTP. Fuck the Pack.
Thank you, Eagles.
You're welcome.
And in second place, we got fuck the Bears because they lost to us and the Vikings.
Oh, my God.
And in first place, and after 2 years of winning the division and still Kings of the North, you have the Detroit Lions.
Oh, man.
I'm coming live out of Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good because I work for Brandon's Tire, located at Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road.
Oh, man.
I thought you'd love that.
Shit.
Oh, hey,
man.
I'm a First Amendment free. This is an 18 and up podcast for a reason.
Just gave me the idea I should talk to my guy Tom about doing art. Wow, it really don't even matter about the
Your
NFC
division
least.
like that.
That would be great. The NFC least again.
It's starting to look like that. It's whoever's at the top and everybody else kind of sucks behind them.
That's all right. I mean, it's going to be knock on wood,
but the second time that a team won the division in back-to-back years in a long time.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
The NFC North can't say that because it used to be the Packers forever, and now it's the Lions. We got back-to-back.
Nice. Well, thank you, fellas.
I want to say thank you, Mike, for being here. And don't forget, go look him up on Facebook and on YouTube at the Patterson Avenue Fanatics, AVE.
Right. Yes, sir.
This has been the Lions Fan Cave Chat and our review. What's your score prediction? I know you're going to go your way on it. Let's hear what you say.
I'll go Austin. Let him go. I'm not sure.
I'll say 28-21 Lions.
All right. Mike, I'm going to let you go before me.
I'm going to go 24-21 Birds.
I think this is a high-scoring affair. I know the defenses have been good, but it's time that both offenses get right. I think it's 31-24 Lions.
Oh, I mean, this could be that NFC Championship
preview.
Showdown.
Yeah.
You know, I actually thought it was going to be that last year until, I mean, I know Washington.
But
I actually thought you guys would have smoked Washington last year, but not to rub salt in the wound to you guys.
That's okay. We got our revenge this year. We had to.
All right.
You know, and it was funny. We didn't have a single starter out there in that game for our secondary because Brian Branch was suspended from the Chiefs game. Still.
Wow.
So think about that. Not a single starter started in their position because Amik Robertson was moved from the nickel to the 1. We had Nick Whiteside in at the 2. Rock Ya-Sin was playing. Thomas Harper. Who was the other one? Eric Hallett. Or Arthur Mallett. Sorry. Arthur Mallett.
Yeah.
Mallett got an interception. Amik punched out a ball. Jack Campbell recovered a fumble. Hutchinson popped out a ball. I mean, that defense got after it. And the difference was having Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive line. That's what was missing last year when we played the Commanders.
Definitely will be a matchup in both sides of the trenches.
I think it's going to be a great game. Tune in Sunday night because it's the only game on if you love football.
Oh, yeah, right.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and go Lions.
Go Birds.
Amen.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.